YouTube, what's up? Hey, just wanted to shoot this video real quick for you guys and kind of explain a little bit about, you know, what led up to me being 575 pounds and what happened to me as far as, you know, that left me to be, you know, in a wheelchair and a paraplegic as well. So yeah, check out this video and here we go. Alright. What's up, guys? Shooting this video, like I said, I was gonna do kind of explaining a little bit what exactly happened to me that led me to be a paraplegic and 575 pounds back in early 2005. So here we go. I was working at a restaurant. Well, actually, before that, I was in high school. I was 17 years old, living in, I'm from Needville, Texas, and I was doing everything, like a normal person would do. I was, sports and all that stuff, and hanging out with my friends and driving and stuff, and got my first job back at a restaurant, and was working in the back, and I was cooking, I was doing all that stuff. Well, my shift was coming to an end that day, so I went to the back and, I was breaking down all my equipment and everything, and I went to the back and I was, kind of sanitizing, cleaning everything, and turned around to get some stuff behind me and didn't realize that that the floor was really, really wet. So when I did that, my feet, slipped out from underneath me, and I fell. I slipped and ended up on my back. And being that age, you don't want anybody to clown on you. You don't want anybody to, as we say, you don't want nobody to be ranking on you. So I got up real quick and got, dusted myself off and made sure I was okay and stuff. And I started feeling, feeling a little bit of, weird pain, sharp pain in my back and stuff. I didn't think about it at all. So I just went back to what I was doing, started cleaning and stuff. And so that ended up happening, and I ended up telling one of my boys that that I worked with, and I was like, hey, I slipped and fell back there. I think I'm all right though. So I ended up going home, and when I got home, I laid down. I was like, man, it's just, I was just really sore. That I felt really hard. At that time, I was maybe 315. So I went home, laid down, to get ready for bed and stuff. Woke up in the morning and I was like, it just doesn't feel right. My back was hurting really bad. My legs were starting to hurt a little bit. So, once again, I just got up, kind of stretched and stuff, and didn't pay no mind to it. So that went on, and went throughout the day. And finally, I was, starting to, the pain started, increasing. So I called my job and I was like, hey, look, I fell. I fell in the back. I was washing dishes. I didn't tell anybody. They kind of got upset the fact that I didn't say anything, but it is what it is. So they called me in, fill out some forms, and ended up going to see, the company doctor, and they basically told me, look, you are a little bit overweight. I think that with, we think that with some therapy and maybe, with the diet, drop some weight, you'll be okay, whatever. So, me being that age at that time, being a little naive, I was like, okay, yeah, for sure, I'll try that. I started to go on therapy, started to diet, didn't really see any change in my weight. As far as therapy goes, didn't help. Started, to bug out the pain even more. That happened in 97. Years went by, 97, 98, 99. Those years I was fine. I was still in a lot of pain though. Started noticing a little bit of a change as far as incontinence issues, as far as that goes. Waking up in the middle of the night, having accidents on myself and stuff like that. Just wasn't adding up. What something was wrong and I couldn't figure it out. So all that went on. I was driving. I was still being normal. I was a DJ at that time. I was having fun, going to clubs and trying to enjoy my time at that time with my friends. That led up to the day April 20, I want to say April 20th, or my brother's birthday, which is the 24th of April. Woke up, everything seemed to be normal. I didn't go to school that day for some reason though, and I stayed home, and I was like, I'm gonna help my mom out, I'm gonna clean up a little bit, do some laundry, do some of the normal chores that I've been doing. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a nap now. I'm kind of tired. I took my pain meds that morning, so it was kind of kicking in. So I laid down to take a nap, and I remember I slept maybe for like an hour and a half or something like that, and then I woke up with this pain that it was the kind of pain that I really can't express. I just, there's no words for how I felt. So I got up, I started to feel that my feet were kind of numb. It kind of felt like I was walking on balloons. I called my mom. She came home and she's kind of freaking out a little bit. What's going on? What's going on? And I told her, I was like, look, I have an appointment tomorrow to see the doctor. I have to go today. I can't. So, I can't wait. So I started, we lived in a mobile home at that time, and I made it down the stairs, down to the deck, and I, was walking down there, and I can, it's funny because I can recall all this like it was yesterday. Walking down the little walkway and get into my mom at that time had like a '98 red Chevy Cavalier. I can, recall that as well. I remember opening the back door, getting in and laying on the back seat. I was like, Mom, you gotta go. Luckily the hospital was like maybe 5 minutes down the road. I was like, we have to go. So we get there, she drops me off at the professional building where my doctor's office was at. I walked in, and like I said, it was just, there were tears of pain, but it was also tears of like worry. Like, what is this? What's gonna happen to me? I've always joked around about, what would happen if, if I couldn't walk again? What would happen if, stuff like that, but not knowing what was gonna happen. So I ended up getting into, to the elevator, and when I got into the elevator, I remember, as soon as the doors opened, I kind of hobbled in, and I kind of, when the doors closed, I fell, and I remember falling and sitting on my butt, and in this just pain, and I urinated on myself, and I couldn't figure out, what is going on. So I remember closing my eyes, and I remember praying, and I said, God, whatever this is, we gotta fix this. I don't know if there's a way to fix it. I don't know what it is, but help me, help me not to fear right now. So getting out of the elevator, as the door opens, there was a nurse there, and she's all like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? Oh my gosh, this and that. And I was like, no, I need help. I can't get up. I can't walk. I can't feel my feet. She came out with the office chair, got me in it. My mom came up and she saw what was going on. She kind of freaked out as well. And I remember sitting in the lobby of the doctor's office, and it was kind of like, how can I explain it? It was like, like when a light bulb kind of flickers on and off, and it flickers and there's light, and then it turns off, and there's light, and then it turns off, there's light again, and then you get that boom where there's no light at all. That's kind of how it was. Like, I could feel my feet, and then I couldn't feel them. I could feel them, and then I couldn't feel them, and all of a sudden I just couldn't feel them anymore. So that happened, and my mom ran in and told the doctor what's going on. So they rushed me in. They pushed me in the office chair into the office, and I just sat there, and I just remember just praying and praying and praying, like, God, why? What is this? And the doctor comes in, and he's all, okay, we're gonna perform procedure on you. I need to see if you have any any rectal tone and stuff, all kinds of different tests. And he found out that I didn't have any rectal tone, and he was all like, you know what, you have a spinal cord injury. We don't know what kind, we don't know where or anything, that we need to get you to the other side of the hospital and get some tests done. So with that being said, once again, fear set in, and I said, you know what, I guess pretty much what I'm gonna have to do is, it is what it is, let's just go. So they sent me over to the bigger part of the hospital, and I think I was there for maybe 5 hours, just waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally he came in and said, we're gonna send you to downtown, to the medical center in downtown Houston, Texas, and we're gonna get you further testing there at Memorial Hermann Hospital. And at that time, I was kind of freaking out a little bit again, because at that time I'm 20 years old. What's gonna happen to me? So they got me there. Got there about 2 in the morning. And my parents, I don't even know if, I think both my parents were there. Got me into this dark room, this dark hospital room, and it was cold, I remember. But before that, the hospital ride, the ambulance ride, actually. I remember that the ambulance workers were really nice, really nice people. I wish I remember who they were now, but I don't remember their names. But They just kept doing anything and everything to keep me calm, you know, because they saw that I was worried. And I just remember once again praying, and I said, you know, God, you know, help me to calm down, you know. And out of nowhere, I just felt like a peace in that ambulance, and it kind of just went away from there. As soon as I got to the hospital, it just started to kind of get that overwhelming feeling again. So we get to Memorial Hermann. They wheel me in. They get me into this, you know, like I said, dark, cold hospital room, and they start running these tests on me. And they like, and you know, I remember just being in tears, telling them, "Look, it hurts. You know, I have a lot of pain. Can I have something?" And they're like, "You know, unfortunately, we can't give you anything until the doctor sees you the next day." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I didn't remember getting any sleep. The doctor came in, and at this time, I really don't remember much other than bits and pieces of my stay there. I remember my mom didn't leave. I remember watching a lot of church channels, a lot of Rod Parsley, a lot of, you know, Creflo Dollar, T.D. Jakes, you know, of course, Lakewood, you know, Pastor Joel Osteen. You know, I remember watching a lot of that. I remember my Uncle Angel came and, you know, prayed with me and brought, at that time, brought his church in, and, you know, a lot of prayers were said, and I just remember a lot of peace, you know, a lot of pain, but a lot of peace as well. So finally they did some tests and needles in my spine and dye tests, and found out there was a blockage, and, you know, they said, well, you know, you have Cauda-Equina syndrome. Or CES for short, and I kept thinking, what the heck is that? Well, I found out that it is the narrowing of your spinal canal. At the end of your spinal cord, we all have like a sac. It's like that, and it's got all your nerves in there. And when I fell, what I found out was I was born with it. I didn't know that I had that condition. I didn't know that I was even, you know, I even had that until, you know, I had, you know, surgery, or when they did the test, they found it. So basically, when I fell, it onset early. You know, it's set it off early. Excuse me. They said that it would have set. It would have. I would have ended up feeling something around the age of 40, 50. You know, seeing the effects of it, but since I fell, it kind of onset early, so I ended up squishing, you know, my discs a little, you know, kind of compacting them. They, but I guess I didn't completely kill them, but I bumped some nerves, and that's what, you know, caused some other things. And so they ended up doing surgery. I want to say, actually, April 20th was when I got to the hospital. April 24th is when I had my surgery. They did I had surgery on my lower back, and that day I really don't remember much, but seeing my mom there, our neighbor Julie at the time, she was there, and they wheeled me into the waiting area where, you know, like where they prep you with the IV and stuff. They put that in there, and they kind of gave me pain meds to kind of knock me out a little bit before, and then I remember just they coming into the room saying, you know, you ready? And I guess, you know, I've never had major surgery before, so I guess, yeah. So they wheeled me off in the bed, and like I said, my mom was there, our neighbor Julie was there, and I just remember seeing my mom's face, and she was just like bawling, and I just kept telling her, don't cry, you know, don't cry, and this is the part that's going to be pretty hard for me. So I might cry on camera, I might not, who knows, who cares? I'm a man, judge me, whatever, I don't care. But this was a part that kind of killed me, you know, seeing her, you know, watch me, you know, roll away like that. And I told her, you know, don't cry, you know, it's gonna be okay, you know, I'm gonna be fine. So I remember going in there, and it was weird. It was a weird room. It kind of looked like bathroom tile. It was blue. And I remember, you know, going into the surgery, and I remember, you know, the doctor, you know, the anesthesiologist was like joking around with me. He was like, you know, telling me, you know, crazy funny stuff, I guess. And I guess he could tell that he knew that I was worried, so he was joking around with me and stuff. And then he said, hey, you know, you ready? And I was like, well, ready for what? And I was like, you know, just, you know, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, so we'll see you later. And I was like, what? And next thing you know, like I saw a black mask just like coming down on my face, and just like I took a breath and like that was it. I don't remember much about the surgery. I remember waking up with I didn't have any pain, but the only pain I pretty much had was from where they give you where they put this thing down your throat to help you breathe. I remember having that, and I couldn't see because I guess they put Vaseline in your eyes, so your eyes don't dry out. So I couldn't see, I couldn't talk. I just kept going, you know, like I kept telling them, give me ice, you know, give me ice. So they wheeled me into the room, back to my room actually, and my vision started to come back slowly, and you know, and I saw my mom, and I was like, look, you know, I told you I was gonna be okay, you know, and you know, they got me in there, and the surgery, I guess from what I heard, was, I want to say like a 5-hour surgery, but it was a success. They were able to fix some stuff. They took the pain away. Definitely I don't have any more pain, but as a result of me slipping and falling and doing therapy and everything else, I ended up being paralyzed. I don't have any movement of my feet. I don't feel my feet. I don't have any calf. I have calf muscles, but they don't work. I have incontinence problems. I wear sometimes I wear adult diapers because of that. I have issues with using the restroom. You know, this is the part where it's going to get real to you guys. You know, I've never really discussed this with anybody, but I feel that I'm at a position right now in my life where I'm blessed, and I don't really care if people know, you know, so. But yeah, I have those issues. Well, anyways, get back on the story. The doctor came in, I want to say maybe about an hour after that, or 30 minutes or something like that. It seemed like it was a while, but he came back in there, and he, you know, was talking to my mom about it and stuff, and this was the first time I've ever seen, you know, anybody else cry other than any other man cry, but my dad, because the doctor was, you know, he shared a lot with us. You know, he basically told my mom that had we not waited, if I would have went to them 6 months before, that they would have been able to save me as far as like being able to walk, but I would have still had like incontinence issues, you know, which is at that time would have been I would have dealt with it, you know. But he was visibly shaken up. My dad lost it, you know. My mom, you know, it was pretty hard on her as well, but for some reason it didn't bother me like it bothered, you know, excuse me, it didn't bother me like it bothered everybody else. I kind of felt a little upset, but I don't know, maybe it was all the praying I did before. Just like I was okay with it, you know. So anyways, we were there. They ended up sending me down the road to the Texas Institute for Rehabilitation and Recovery, which is the tier in downtown Houston. I spent about a month there trying to rehab as much as I can, learning to walk, you know, trying to walk with the walker and stuff like that. Going to classes on coping with being, you know, a paraplegic or whatever. And yeah, I got out of there, and I went home and started to pretty much live my life as a paraplegic. At that time I was 21, a year had went by, and you know, I didn't know what I was going to do the first couple, you know, months I was home. I didn't have any friends. Like I kind of felt a little depressed. I remember locking myself up a couple times, like not wanting to do anything. It was just very, very, very. It was a very dark place for me. I didn't contemplate suicide, but you know, I thought about, you know, how it would be much more easier it would be if I wasn't here, you know. But you know, I never acted on it. I never wanted to. I just thought about it, I guess. That went on for a little bit. It didn't last very long, maybe about a month. And then I just started, I bought my first computer, and you know, I started getting online, talking to people and stuff like that, and then I ended up, you know, we moved, I bought a house, and that's where I, you know, at that time, you know, I met, you know, I met my wife, you know, and at that time I was I want to say maybe 575 at that time. Already at that time I was 575, but I wasn't eating like I was supposed to. You know, I was eating horribly. You know, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, fast food runs. You know, cases of sodas. You know, 2 liters. Whataburger at night. You know, Jack in the Box. For all my Texas people, Whataburger, you guys know how bad that is. But man, what I would do for some Whataburger right now. But no, for real. Whataburger, Jack in the Box, 2M's, Roseburg, you know, Baytown Seafood, you know, all those places, man, you know, Mr. Seafood and all that, you know, Hyman's Dairy Tree, my cousin Hyman, you know, just eating really bad, not really caring on how, you know, how or what was going to happen to me because, you know, because of that eating, you know. So, like I said, I met Heather, and we ended up getting together. She moved in with me from California. She moved down to Texas and moved in with me. We got married, and she gained weight too. And once again, I kind of feel bad for her weight gain because she was heavy at the time, but she wasn't that heavy. Whenever I met her, you know, she started falling into, you know, the way I was eating and stuff like that. So it was really bad. But that is what happened to me as far as, you know, why I'm a paraplegic. Why I gained weight was I wasn't mobile, I wasn't doing anything. I was always home, I didn't really care to do anything. I always wanted people to feel sorry for me and help me do things. You know, hey, can you get that for me? Hey, can you get this for me? You know, can you put my shoes on for me? Can you do this? Can you do that? And you know, I guess I could say it got the best of me, you know, because it put me in a position where I was, you know, I was really, really obese, really overweight. So Heather and I moved to California in 2007. That time I had dropped a little bit of weight. I was maybe 500 pounds. I dropped like 70 pounds. We stopped drinking sodas. We stopped eating out. I was like 500 pounds, like I want to say 499. We lived in Humboldt County for a little while. I want to say about 8 months. Moved down to Turlock. We joined the gym in 2008. Actually in shape over on in Turlock on Gear Road at that time, and we ended up joining there. We went like maybe 4 times and then quit because we were both really intimidated, and if I wasn't gonna go, she wasn't gonna go. So we quit, went back to Texas. We moved back there for a couple months, and then, you know, decided we wanted to come back over here, so we moved back to California again. At that time, 2010, Heather, we were in the car. I would say we were in Turlock. We were in the car, and I could tell something was up. I knew she wanted to talk to me about something, and I could tell she was, you know, she meant business too. So she looks over at me and she puts the car in park and she's like, "You're gonna die." And I said, "What? I'm gonna die?" She's like, "You're gonna die." And I was like, "Well, how?" You know? I was like, "Do you know something I don't know?" And she started laughing. She's like, "No." She's like, "You're gonna die if you don't do something about your weight." And I was like, you know, I thought about it before, you know, I just never really put too much into it. Whenever you talk to me about it, I would always shut you up and just give you an answer that you wanted. But at this time, I was like, no, you know, you're right. We need to do something. She started crying. She's like, I don't want you to die, you know, I don't want you to leave me. I don't want to be a widow at the age of 22, 23 or whatever, you know. So I was like, okay, let's get this done. Let's go. We'll go to the gym tomorrow. So sure enough, we walked into the gym. At that time, I think I was walking with my walker, and we met with Custom Built Personal Training, and, you know, we met with In Shape as well. And they, you know, we got a membership going. We got personal training going. Started training, you know, 3 times a week. Swimming pool. I started off in the swimming pool. I dropped like 30 pounds, you know, first couple months in the pool, 30, 40 pounds, and then I graduated to the floor, started lifting weights. Resistance training, all kind of different stuff like that, and I just started seeing the weight fall off, and I got used to that. I said, hey, you know, I can drop 10 pounds a month, 5 pounds a month, you know, whatever it is, I can drop weight just with a little bit of, you know, with a little bit of work, you know, hey, it'll happen. So I started, you know, like I said, I started getting addicted to that. Like, it was a feeling, like accomplishment, you know, like I've never felt before. So I started working out, you know, Heather and I, you know, and here we are today, 2 years, you know, 2 years, April 14th, you know, next month will be 2 years. We've been training with Custom Belt. Heather's down, you know, 80 pounds. I'm down 214 right now. I have 60 more pounds to be done with my total weight loss, and then I'll have skin removal surgery that needs to happen to take all the excess skin off me, and that'll take me to, I think, 280, and then I'll just have to tighten and tone up, and then I'll be done. But then I won't be done, because this is pretty much my life now. You know, I commit myself to fitness. I would like to be known as an advocate for fitness, because it's important that we teach our children, we teach the world that, you know, fast food isn't what it is. You know, yeah, it may taste good, but it's bad for us, you know. You could go home and make something similar to that, but a healthier way healthier. We've tried it, and it comes out way better. Another thing I want to say is that, you know, I made this video so that you guys know a little bit about me. I just want you guys to know that I appreciate all the support from everybody, and you know, like I said, with hard work, anything can happen. You guys give it your all. Don't give up. I didn't give up, you know, and you know, with God, I'm actually sitting here today and making this video for you guys, so you guys can do it too. Alright? Well, like I said, shout out to all you guys. I appreciate everything you do for me. Any other questions, you know, you guys hit me up, and yeah.